Next question, it says, what are the key things to consider before buying a home for the first time? Now, listen, once again, I just recently bought my house a few months back. So there were a lot of things in that process that I did not know, that I wasn't aware of, and if I would have known ahead of time, it would have saved a lot of headache and heartache. But one of the things that I would say you definitely want to consider before buying a home. Now I live in Florida, so we have a lot of what's called flood zones. So one thing that I definitely did not want to do was buy a home in a flood zone, and it's crazy because we just recently had two very powerful hurricanes here where I live. And 2 weeks before the first hurricane hit, is when I bought the house that I'm in now. And during the home buying process, or during the home search, the main house that I was looking at was in flood zone A. And flood zone A, for those you don't know, that's like the the first area that is gonna get flooded out if water comes in. So I was looking at that home, and it was nice. It was a beautiful home. It's actually bigger than what I'm in now, but the problem is, when we walked in, we saw that it had a little bit of water damage and things like that already from the previous owner. So that was, a big turnoff. But the main reason why we didn't buy the house is because me and my wife, we were in the backyard of the home just talking, and I just so happened to look down. And when I looked down, I saw this weird rock. So I'm like, what's going on with that rock? So I turned to the side, and on the rock, it had engraved in the rock. It said Mother 2001, and it was like in the ground. So I'm like, bro, is there a dead body in the backyard? And what really, drove that thought home for me is because the house went up on the market in March of that year. March, it was on the market for 250,000. By May, it had decreased to 240,000, and then by July it had decreased to 219,000. So these people were trying to get rid of that house, and the only way that a seller is gonna decrease the price of a home by that much in that short amount of time is if they really just want to get rid of the house. They don't, at this point, they don't really care about getting fair market value, because something's wrong with that house. And more than likely, like I said, you got a dead body in the back. It's probably haunted, whatever the case may be. But yeah, anyway, so back to my original point. You want to consider the area that you're buying the home in, as far as, is this area prone to disasters? What's the crime rate in this area? Different things like that, especially if you have kids, a family. You want to consider all those things. The other thing you should consider before buying a home for the first time is your debt to income ratio, because when you're going through that underwriting process, that is a big thing that they're going to look at. I mean, they gave me a lot of hard time, dealing with my debts, making sure that I had different things paid off before they would approve me for the home. I had to spend a lot of money that I wasn't planning on spending at that time, but by the grace of God, I was able to get done what I needed to get done. And another thing to consider before buying your home is knowing that you're going to have to go through that long underwriting process. Some people get through it quicker than others, but once again, if you're one that you have a lot of obligations to other people, different debts, taxes, they're going to look at all that. Their job, the underwriting team, their job is to pretty much create a timeline of your life through your finances. They don't really care about you. They care about what you spend, because at the end of the day, they want to make sure that you're going to be able to pay them back their money. So and just be prepared for a long underwriting process. Make sure that you're buying a house in the right area. Make sure that all your finances are in order. And as long as you have those those things in mind, then you should be able to get through it like I did.